A very good afternoon to all of you. So today we are going to understand what exactly an ROC is, what are its significance, and how does it characterizes our system function. So first of all, the first property of ROC is that we can easily identify an ROC. The identification of ROC is very important. How we can identify an ROC? That is, that ROC must be a connected region. Okay, it has to be a connected region. For example, take this case. If we look at this diagram, and this is the ROC and this is the ROC. Now we can very well say that these two regions are not connected. These two regions are disconnected. So straight away we can say that this can't be an ROC. Clear? At the same place, if we look at this thing, this will sure be categorized as an ROC. The second important property of an ROC is that ROC never contains any pole. This has to be very clear, that region of convergence never contains any pole. There wouldn't be any pole in the region of convergence. Third part. Now the significance of statements come. That if Fn is of finite duration, then ROC is entire Z plane except possibly Z equals to 0 and / or Z equals to infinity. It means that if the discrete signal is of finite duration, okay, the duration is finite, then its ROC will be containing all the values of Z. All the Z values will be in the ROC except Z equals to 0 and Z equals to infinity, and that we can see from this. Have a look at this. This is 2Z plus 1 plus 2Z inverse minus Z minus 2. Okay. Have a look at this. If we look at f of n, then f of n for this function will become 2 of delta n plus 1 plus 1 delta n plus 2 delta n minus 1 minus 1 delta n minus 2. So what does this imply? This implies that for n equals to 2, the value of impulse function is minus 1. At n equals to 1, an impulse function of amplitude 2 will be present. For n equals to 0, an impulse function of amplitude 1 will be present. And for n equals to minus 1, an amplitude function of 2 will be present. I think this is very clear. Now, for the verification of the last statement, just have a look at this part. The fz for this function will be 2z plus 1 plus 2z inverse minus z to the power minus 2. Have a look at this. When z is going to be 0, if we put z equals to 0 in this statement, just have a look at this. Because only from this part we can draw the conclusions, the necessary conclusions can be drawn. If z equals to 0, if we put z equals to 0 in f of z, then we can say that this term, wait a minute, this term will be 0, good, this is 1, this is infinity, and this is also infinity. So this whole term will be going to infinity, okay, when z equals to 0 is kept in the expression of f of z. Again, if we keep z equals to infinity, then at z equals to infinity, this term will become 0, this term will become 0, but this term will go to infinity. So f of z will tend to infinity for z equals to 0 and z equals to infinity, except these two values. Just keep any value in this expression. Keep z equals to 3, z equals to 4, or z equals to 10 lakhs, fz is for sure going to be a finite value. So this thing should be very clear. So I had tried my best in verifying that fz is tending to infinity or 0 depending on the value of 0 and infinity. So we can say, as the expression is not converging, so the ROC of this expression is entire z plane except z equals to 0 and z equals to infinity. Now, okay, we can cross check this thing in this, for this function also. This is fn equals to -1, 2, 1, 0. Again, you can write the fz for this expression and then obtain f0, f infinity. This is very easy, and again you can check that this is giving us 0 and infinity. Now, if we check for a right-sided sequence, okay, and the ROC is specified as mod of z equals to r0 is in the ROC. Are you getting it? If the sequence is a right-sided sequence and I am told that z equals to r0 is in the ROC, then one thing is very sure, that all the points, all the circles for which mod of z is greater than the r0 will also be in the ROC. Why? Because we know that for a right-sided sequence, the ROC, for a right-sided sequence, the ROC will be some circle, the outermost region of some circle, okay, outside the region of some circle. So if that circle, for example, this is that some circle, okay, and now mod of z greater than r0 is in this ROC. So we can definitely say that all the circles whose radius is greater than r0 will also be in the ROC. Clear? I think this point is well explained. Now coming to another important part. Okay, these are simply the explanation of same kind of circle that you can see this part again. This is the sequence, and if it is a left and a right sided sequence, okay, have a look. If it is a left and right sided sequence, then we can say for sure that z0 circle will be in the ROC. Okay, and again, if it is a left sided sequence and we are saying that z equals to r0 is in the ROC, then every value that is below this r0 will also be in the ROC. Okay, I think till this point I am quite clear. Now coming back to fz equals to rational. Have a look at this rational value. This is fz equals to rational. Okay, yes. Now the 8th point is very interesting, that is fz of fn rational. That is, if fz is rational, okay, and if fn is causal, then be very clear, if fz is rational and f of n is causal, then the ROC of the z transform will definitely include z equals to infinity. Z equals to infinity has to be in the ROC, then only the system will be causal. Okay, now I would like to give one example. Take fn equals to an u of n plus 1. Okay, so we can directly give this, the z transform can be directly obtained, but I am not going for that. I am going with the basics. So put an u of n plus 1 z to the power minus 1. The summation will go from n equals to minus 1 to infinity. Okay, again this thing is skipped, minus 1 to infinity, a z inverse n. This becomes a z inverse minus 1, a z inverse 0, a z inverse minus 1, and so on. So this is the first term. Okay, this is the first term, and a z inverse is the common multiplier. Okay, I think I am quite clear to this point. Yes. So if this point is clear, then we can straight away get the expression. Okay, this is the expression, I think. Okay, yes, because what I can say is that this is going to be 0 and 1. Okay, clear? 1 0 1, correct. This is A inverse Z. Okay, A inverse Z. Okay, inverse will be the first term. This is the common ratio, and then we can straight away get the GP summation, and this is the GP summation. I think there is no doubt this comes out to be the value, and we can very well say what will be its ROC. More upon this in the next lecture. Thank you.